Hi beautiful souls, it's Tan here today with another very interesting astrology video, and today we're gonna have a look at your natal chart and see if you have any indicators in your natal chart of artistic talents or abilities. So in my last video, when I put up the videos on indicators of like CEO or manager positions, a lot of you guys have commented that you would like to see a video on artistic ability. So here it is. And this video is going to be kind of more based on visual arts because that's what a lot of you commented there. But you know, you can also comment below this video as well what you would like to see next, and I'll just do that. So when we are talking about artistic ability, we are talking about a certain set of skills. First, we're talking about someone who has to have a bit of a vision and an imagination, a big imagination. Because a lot of the times, you know, you're going to have to be able to create things from your own mind and your own perception. The second skill that artists would need would be, of course, creativity. A creativity that is really coming from a deep self-expression. Some of the best artists out there have their own individual style that is a representation of who they are and their own, you know, personal creative self-expression. The next skill that artists would need to have would be in terms of hand skills, right? Because you need to be able to do something, you need to be able to draw and paint and use the hand to do that. But this also comes with, I would consider like mechanical skills, so you have to know how to use certain tools in order to make art, whether that be paint or whether that be the computer, or you know, if you want to do mixed media, or whether that just be any kind of a tool. The next skill would be, you know, an artist would need to have an eye for art, an eye for design, colors, lines, compositions, observational skills in general. They would also need to have a love and a passion for art, the perseverance and the concentration and focus, because artwork does not just happen, doesn't just get created in a few minutes, right? It takes times for a masterpiece to really present itself. So, are you ready guys? Here are the top 10 indicators in your natal chart that you may have artistic abilities. Now this does not necessarily mean that you are going to be an artist, but you just have the abilities for it. And you're going to need to kind of look for more than one of these indicators. You probably need like 4 or 5 of them, okay? The first indicator that you might have artistic ability is if you have a stellium, which means you have 3 or more planets, and this is even more prominent if they are personal planets, in the 12th house, in the 5th house, sometimes in the 4th house. So, and you can even combine this together as well, or you don't have to combine it together if, you know, if you already have a stellium in just one of the houses. But it can be like, for example, let's say you have a sun in the 12th house, you have a moon in the 5th house, you have, let's say, Jupiter and Mercury in the 4th house. You can combine it like that. Or you can just say, oh, I've got a sun, moon, Mercury, and Jupiter in my 12th house. That also works. So the more planets you have, the more that you are going to have this energy of artistic abilities. But the reason why I talk about the 12th house is because the 12th house is the house of the imagination and the vision. So planets in that house are going to open up your imagination, which is one of the skills we need for art. And that's also the same with the 4th house. That kind of imagination is going to be very much broadened. The 5th house, because the 5th house is the house of self-expression and having your own individual style. So that's the first indicator. The second indicator that you might have artistic ability, and this is very common in people who are very artistic and creative, is a Moon-Neptune aspect. Soft aspects like trines and sextiles will present itself, but not in a sense of urgency or not as intense as a harder aspect like the conjunction, the opposition, or the square, or even the inconjunction between Moon and Neptune. This produces a quality, you know, a deep inner sensitivity and a deep inner love of beauty. And when this kind of a person is engaged or is surrounded by beauty and by art, they feel that they are closer to the creator or to God, whatever they term God in general. So that's why this is one of those aspects. The third indicator in your natal chart is that if you have a Venus-Moon aspect or a Venus-Neptune aspect. This one is going to be stronger if it is a conjunction, a square, or an opposition. It also works for trines and sextiles. But, you know, Venus-Moon, Venus-Neptune really indicates someone who has an eye for beauty, okay? An eye for design and beauty, because Venus is the planet of beauty. And Neptune and the Moon are very feminine and beautiful, beauty-orientated planets as well. And you just combine them together and you have someone who really knows how to design things and how to put colors and things like that together to make it look beautiful. So for the fourth, fifth, and sixth indicator, you can kind of combine these together, okay? So if you have a stellium, 3 or more planets in Gemini, Aquarius, Pisces, or Cancer, these 4 planets are going to give you an ability to, well, Gemini and Aquarius Gemini specifically can give you the hand skills, because Gemini does rule the hands, to kind of draw and create things. Aquarius, Pisces, and Cancer is going to give you that vision, that imagination to create. And if you have a stellium of planets in Taurus or Libra, this is going to contribute to that because these 2 signs are ruled by Venus, so they are naturally very, very good at making things look beautiful, and they have an eye for compositions and lines and design. Or if you have a stellium of planets in Leo, which is the sign of creativity in general and self-expression. So like I said, you can, you know, mix these signs up, meaning that if you have, let's say, Sun in Gemini, let's say you have a Moon in Cancer, rising in Leo, you've already got 3 of these combinations. That's already going to give you an inclination towards this. But of course, the more you have, especially with your inner planets, the more you are going to be inclined to have artistic abilities. And for 4, 5, and 6, you have to keep it within the inner planets, meaning the Sun to Jupiter. Sun, Moon, Venus, Mars, Mercury, and Jupiter, these 6 planets, and your rising as well as your midheaven can be combined in these signs. Okay, guys? The 7th indicator that you could have artistic ability is if you have some of these planets in your 5th house. This is what I've noticed, is if you have Pluto in the 5th house, Jupiter in the 5th house, sometimes Uranus in the 5th house, and Neptune in the 5th house. This is going to bring a whole new level of creative self-expression to the work that you create. You know, with Pluto there, you're going to have a style that is a little bit dark, but very, very powerful, right? If it's Neptune, you're going to have a style that is mystical. If you have, you know, Jupiter, that's going to expand your self-expression in general, which means that you're going to have more energy and more luck with expressing any kind of style. If you've got Uranus there, you know, you probably have a very edgy, futuristic, a modern kind of a style of expressing yourself. So I think you get the idea. I've also noticed with number 8, another indicator is that if you have a grand water trine between your planets or points in your chart, so, you know, you can have, let's say, a Moon in Cancer, Venus in Pisces, and your ascendant in Scorpio, for example, that's going to give it a grand water trine. So it can be between planets and points in your chart. I've noticed that these people naturally have a flow of intuitive and artistic gifts about them. But it's coming from, you know, the fact that they are inclined to be reflective and introverted and bring the deeper emotional aspect out, kind of releasing out their emotions in a creative and artistic way. The ninth indicator that you could have artistic ability is if you have Mercury aspecting the moon, or if you have a moon in the third house. Because Mercury and the third house is all about communications. And when you have that linked with the moon in some way, it's going to make you someone who really wants to communicate your emotions. So art is really a form of communication, right? But it's really a form of communicating what you feel and your emotions. So that's why that's one of the factors there. Now, the last thing that you want to look for to indicate artistic ability is if you have your Venus in conjunct or semi-sextile your ascendant. You go to astro.com and I'll just give links below, and you see that Venus makes an aspect that looks like a green line with a green, the symbol is green in general at astro.com. So if you have that, Venus is either going to be like in your 12th house or your first or second house or your 6th or 8th house. So those in conjunct or semi-sextile to the ascendant is going to be a hidden artistic ability that someone, is very gifted with, but might fear showing this to the world for fear of rejection or fear of criticism. But it's very much there. It means that Venus is a part of your life path, and so therefore you are going to need to create beauty and art in some way in your life. So guys, those are the 10 indicators in your natal chart of artistic ability. So if you have any of those indicators, comment below and let us know how many of them do you have, and are you involved, and do you create a lot of art in your spare time? And also comment below what you would like to see in the next video. Would you like to see, astrology indicators of writers or chefs, or if you should start your own business, anything like that, and I will do that. If you like this video, guys, give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button below if you haven't. If you already subscribed, then thank you very much for coming along with us on these astrology journeys of self-growth and having better relationships with the people around us. I'll see you soon, guys. Bye!